Hey 33 TV, this is Magenta, chilling with Eric Roberson. I have an issue saying that name, bear with me. How are you, honey?
I'm doing great. You did a great job saying the name.
Did I do a great job? Okay.
I agree.
Cool.
I think so.
Wow, I'm really excited to be sitting here with this guy. I'm so nervous right now. I mean, you have been in the music industry for like over 15 years now.
Yeah,
I'm correct to say that.
Yeah.
Eric, how did you... No, I'm a fan. Can I call you Hero?
That's fine.
As your fans call you.
That's fine.
How did you actually get into the music and be where you are today?
You know, it's probably different stages. I got signed to Warner Brothers when I was in college, my sophomore year, and that was more just handing the tape to a friend of mine that was in a group that got signed. The group Shy, if anyone knows. And if I ever fall, those guys were college friends. Then they got a record deal, and I gave them my tape and said, when you get to London, I mean, when you get to LA, look at London, you know, just pass it to somebody. And the phone started ringing. That's kind of what was my introduction to the business. But then from there, I got in as a songwriter or a background singer or whatever I could do to stay in the business, you know. And then songwriting production really was where I found my most success before I started my albums out.
Wow, so you had your fingers in many pies.
Yeah,
to a certain degree.
I think, you know, I majored in musical theater at Howard University. And the one thing that our professors taught us was, you know, you'll go out for a role, let's say in theater, and if you didn't get that role, you should probably know how to work the lights or work the cameras or work the makeup or work something so that if you don't get that part, you can stay close to what you want to do. So if the opportunity comes around, you're right there. Rather than waiting tables or doing something at distance from what you love to do. So for me, if I couldn't be an artist, let me be a songwriter, or let me sing background, or let me do whatever I could so that I'm still around it when the opportunities kind of struck.
Yeah, I get it, and it makes sense too.
Yeah.
Wow. So you've worked with loads of major artists. I'm a fan of Jill Scott, big fan. So I just think this is why I'm so nervous sitting with this guy right now. And you've worked with Vivian Green.
Yeah.
What was your experience working with these two famous women? These like beautiful singers. What was it like?
You know, the funny thing is, I mean, I'm fortunate enough to know them before they became big and famous, and I'm honored to have watched them grow and become, you know, very successful. I remember when I belonged to a production studio at one point that DJ Jazzy Jeff had called A Touch of Jazz. Okay. And there was a lot of producers there, a lot of them, we've all had very, very good careers since that time. But I remember sitting in that studio when Jill walked in. And that was like, you know, the first introduction of all of us who did the first album of meeting her. And she just was a roundaway girl that you just fell in love with. She just was a good spirit, incredibly talented. And I was honored to just even be a fly on the wall while a lot of that album was being created, you know, for the most part. Viv had a background singing gig, and she was one of the background singers. And if anyone even looks at my early tours, she was one of my background singers. You know, this is probably before I even put out any of my albums, when I was just doing shows, but she just became Little Sis, befriended her and stuff, and she would come by the studio and be boo-hooing about her, you know, boyfriend at the time, and we would just write songs about it, you know. So you watch that kind of stuff. But that's the same thing with music. Soulchild was the same way. I remember when he walked in the studio for the first time, and you know, working on his albums and stuff, and watching him grow. You know, it's been an honor to have that relationship with a lot of these people.
So is there anybody out there that you haven't worked with yet but would like to work with?
Oh, there's so many. I mean, Erykah Badu probably comes
at
the top of the line for me. I'm a big fan of hers in all facets, man. She's just a superly creative artist. But I could run off several names. You know, Omar from London, Lewis Taylor from London. Big fan of both of those guys. But Bill Withers, who I'm a big fan of, who's now back recording. You know, he had retired for a long time, and now he's back doing music. I would love to work with him. But the tape would run out before, the batteries would run out before I finished.
You know what? He said Magenta. You'd like to work with me, wouldn't you, Magenta?
Oh yeah, you know.
Remember that?
That's right. Before it started, I said, man, Magenta's. I'm glad we're doing this interview so that I could campaign on, you know, doing some songs.
See, okay. Jill Scott described your voice as being like red velvet. Now I think that is beautiful.
Yeah, I love red velvet cake. My grandmother makes amazing red velvet cake, so I mean, I'm honored. You know, I'm really, really honored, and I would think of it even a honey bun cake was what describes her voice. So that's good, man. But I mean, any kind of honor like that from someone who sounds so amazing on records, that's beautiful.
So how would you describe your voice?
Oh man, wherever I'm at the time, just an honest voice. Just an honest voice. Just a, you know, a voice that just tries to be the character at the time. If it's a sad song, I'm completely focusedly sad. You know, if it's a happy song, I brighten and vibrant. But I would probably say pound cake without the icing, because that's my favorite kind of cake. A good sweet pound cake, you know, like yellow cake, no icing, just
is it like
simple and full.
Like a bun?
No, it'll almost be like red velvet cake, but it'll be yellow.
Okay.
And it would. My grandmother makes it with no icing, and it's just, she can mail it to me, and it'll still be amazing. It's just thick, soft, moist.
Wow.
I'm
gonna say my voice is like a Derby biscuit then. No, like Marmite. You either like it or you don't. Yeah.
But that's art, though. I think, you know, some of my favorite artists, like if you take a Bilal, he's going to make choices that you're either going to love or hate. There's no middle ground. So I love that kind of voice.
Wow. Okay, so have you got any up-and-coming events for the UK fans to be aware of?
Well, mainly we're just finishing up this tour that we're doing right now. And the album Mr. Nice Guy's out. Just you know, just enjoying that. There'll probably be some more videos, and I'll probably be back in the next couple of months, probably 3-4 months. Let it kind of simmer for a little bit. Let the shows, you know, kind of bubble for a minute, and then we'll probably come back to, you know, pick up from it again.
I need to also ask you an important question, actually, because wow, I was starstruck. I was like, wow, you was awarded a BET. 2007 nominated for a BET? Is that right?
Yeah, BET award, yeah.
Wow, what was that like?
You know, it's funny, any award that I receive, I'm always kind of caught off guard a bit. I mean, you got to think that we've been completely independent, where we you know, in the States especially, we manufacture and distribute and sell all our own records. And that's the way it's kind of, you know, it's kind of always been. Here we have our records distributed through Dome Records, but up to this point, you know, being nominated for a BET award or for a Grammy or any of that kind of stuff.
Grammys.
Yeah, that's unheard of. It never happened. But I think it's just showing the change of guard, or just the acknowledgement from our peers that the times are changing now. That an independent artist could be nominated for a BET award or for a Grammy or for anything.
Or Soul Train.
Or Soul Train, yeah. I mean, all of it is open. So it's I think the beauty of it is that in 5 or 6 years, I think we'll see, you know, some people that are actually winning these awards consistently on an independent level.
And it's good that you're out there being independent and showing other artists out there that, look, I can do this, you can do it, kind of thing. It's positive, very positive.
There's a huge movement, and we kind of all try to take what we learn and put it back into that movement, so that it can continuously grow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Inspiring. What would you say about UK music? What do you think of the UK music
now? I love it. I mean, even before I was touring out here, I was a huge Lewis Taylor fan and a huge Omar fan already. But even just from, listen, Radiohead and also I'm a huge fan on that side. But then just even other current artists, like Don E, who came on our show I think the other day, he's amazing vocals, you know. Andrew Rochford, probably one of my favorite performers now, and watching him perform. So I love it, man. It's a real good spirited movement that's growing out here, and I love to be a part of it every time I come out here. So you know, I've befriended a lot of people. My last album, Music Fan First, a brother named Colin Emanuel, a producer out here, was on my album, and I met him just through my visits out here and stuff. So I always love to come out here and just catch the energy of different music, what they're feeling at the time. What's your hip hop like? What's your soul music like? You know, there's always a dope thing that you can learn and maybe take a little bit back with you to the States too.
And that's what being creative is all about, isn't it? Being an artist.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm gonna have to let you go because I know you've been busy and you've got a gig tonight. But I'd like to ask you an important question. What would you tell the up and coming artists out there to look out for trying to get into the music? What positive positive sentence could you give out to them?
Well, first I would tell them to understand that it's the business of music. You know what I mean? In all aspects that you want to do, it's a business. So on all aspects of what you want to do, it's about networking and relationships. You know, as a songwriter producer, you know, not only was I working on people who were signed in record deals, but I was working with my friends. And I was blessed to be part of a movement, so that when Jill got signed, or Music got signed, or Viv got signed, you know, I benefited from their growth. You know what I mean? I was able to be a part of it. So practice your craft. You know, just practice your craft, and understand that you can't do it by yourself. You know, can't do it by yourself, but have fun with it too. You know what I mean? Like, if you feel it in your heart, go with it. If you don't feel it in your heart, don't do it. You know, stick with what feels right.
That's true. Stick with what feels right. Sorry, I just had to say that because it's so true and it's positive. But I'm going to let you go. It's an honour to meet you.
Pleasure
I am
mine.
going to be so buzzing on the way home. This guy is great. Have a great show tonight.
Thank you very much.
And take care.
Thank you. Pleasure. And look forward to working with you.
Definitely.
Eric Roberson, that is me, and you are watching 33 TV. I just got an interview done by Magenta. Yes, I want to give a shout out to Jenna. And now, before anything's left, shout out to Professor F, who hands the camera as he presses record. Eric Roberson is now on board. Peace, 33 TV.